Widows have a ton of weight thrown on their shoulders when they lose their beloved spouse. But losing money should not be one of the things that widows end up facing. So in this video, we're gonna check out 3 things to do and not to do to make sure your retirement as a widow is set up for success. If you have all of your money in the market and you're approaching retirement or already retired and you recently lost a spouse, you are more vulnerable to running out of money before you run out of life. In fact, 46.1% of couples will run out of money before they run out of life in America, but 57% of single or widowed or divorced individuals will run out of money before they run out of life. That's more than half. So when it comes to retirement, the first thing not to do if you are widowed is overexposure to market risk if you're within 10 years of retiring or already retired. If you find yourself widowed, you are more vulnerable to running out of money before you run out of life. Have you ever heard of the lost decade? The lost decade was from 2000 to 2009. If you put $100,000 in the S&P 500 in 2000, the market, you would have not seen that money again until 2014. That means there was 14 years of lost time. From 2000 to 2009, the S&P averaged a negative 1% rate of return. So imagine if you retire in 2000, you put all of your money in the market and the market goes down like it did at the beginning of the century. This means you may have to defer retirement or go back to work for 3, 5, 8, 10 years while your money recovers. Can you imagine what a bummer that would be? You lose your spouse and then you've got to come out of retirement because the market's down for an extended period of time? What a bummer. In fact, I had a client recently who came to my office. We'll call this woman Nanette. That's not her name, but Nanette came out to my office and she wanted some help because she was really frustrated with her advisor at Merrill Lynch. And I was looking through her statements and much to my shock, I discovered that she had investments going back to 2002. And here we are 21 years later and she still hadn't made any money in 21 years with Merrill Lynch. When I showed her this, she about hit the roof. She was so upset, so angry. But this is a reality people are facing. The market is not doing what these entertainers are telling us that they're doing. In fact, after 21 years being with Merrill Lynch, her mutual funds had lost money. That's insane. She would have been better off finding a CD at 3% and just parking it there for a couple decades. She would have tripled her money essentially. So what should you do? Well, you need to take a percentage of your retirement portfolio and put it into something that has guarantees to never go backwards. How can you ensure that there's safety of principle, that you're not gonna lose any money if the market crashes? You may agree with that. You may say, Andrew, that makes a ton of sense, but how much do I put in that? What is the percentage? Here's a great test. Ask yourself, out of the X amount I have saved for retirement, and you fill in the blank with the X, I am comfortable losing blank. Is it 10%? Is it 20%? Is it 0%? Whatever that number is, if you say, well, out of the $1 million I have, I'm comfortable with losing 100 grand, excellent. Put 900,000 in something that has safety of principle or principal protection. If you say, I'm willing to lose 50%, excellent. Put half of your money in something that you can't lose money if the market crashes, and you're gonna sleep a lot better at night. Whatever that number is, out of X amount, how much you have saved in your portfolio, I am willing to lose this amount in the market. Whatever that number is, whatever you're not willing to lose, you need to invest in something with principal protection. According to Forbes, the average total account fee that you're gonna be paying in your 401k, IRA, 403b, 457, TSP, the average is gonna be 2.1%. Think about that. If you have $1 million, that's $21,000 a year. Now you times that by 30 years in which you may be retired, guys, that's over $600,000 in fees, and that's assuming your money never grew. This really hit home with me when it happened to my mom. My father died at 45 unexpectedly. My mom gets this this life insurance death benefit, has no idea what to do with it. She heard about this financial advisor at church. She trusted this financial advisor to invest her money and grow it. She was really stressed out, trying to make ends meet, trying to take care of my younger brother and younger sister. And I was looking at my mom's statement about, a couple months later after she invested, and I could not believe what I saw. Much to my shock, much to my chagrin, I realized every single penny that my mom had earned in interest that quarter was completely eaten up by advisor fees. And you guys, when I saw this, I was so upset because this is my mom. Nobody messes with my mom. Her money was going backwards because she wasn't earning anything. Well, she did earn some money, but it was given to the financial advisor. And then, through inflation, her money was being devalued. Now, thankfully, the thing to do when it comes to retiring as a widow, which my mom was a widow, and that's one of the reasons I got into this industry, was we were able to find products that didn't have any advisor fees and no account fees. Now, I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. Wall Street is not going to tell you about these products because Wall Street doesn't make any money on them. And so they, of course, are gonna cast aspersions and downplay them and tell you they're evil and they're terrible. But there are many products out there that allow you a very decent rate of return, 5 to 7% per year with no fees and no loss and no advisor fees, no account fees, no questions asked. They're as guaranteed can be. It's better than a CD at a bank. And yet, you've probably never heard of some of these things. Like, for example, a hybrid CD. You can earn, right now, when I'm recording this video, 6% guaranteed. How long do you want it? You want a 3-year, 5-year, 7-year, 10-year? Oh, and by the way, you can take money out, unlike a traditional CD. The point is, Wall Street is not going to recommend these because they make no money on them, but they may be the absolute best fit for you. So you want to find products as you're approaching retirement or already retired where you don't have to pay a bunch in fees and it ends up depleting your portfolio that you need to get you through for the rest of your life. The third do and don't when it comes to retiring as a widow, the first thing not to do is not have an annual income plan in retirement. Many people think, I got a bunch of money, it's saved, I'll be good, I'll just take some as I need it. That is not an income plan. You have to have an annual income plan. Your advisor, if you don't have this already, needs to create a monthly income that is going to last you the rest of your life. Most advisors don't do this. They don't break it down to the month. They don't factor in all your bills because they don't want to. It's kind of boring and takes a lot of time. Your advisor needs to do this. They need to factor in Social Security getting cut by 1/3 in 2033. They need to factor in probably 3.5 to 4% inflation rate. They need to factor in your bills plus fund money plus charitable gifts plus Christmas. They need to factor in all that, and they need to make sure that their plan is bulletproof and it's not going to fail. I'll give you a great example. I had a client who came into my office this last week actually, and I sat down with her and we were going over her anniversary meeting because it had been an anniversary, and so we were going to go over all of her portfolio. And she was deferring taking income because she's still working for about 1 more year, and she is a lovely woman who happens to be widowed. We'll call her Roberta. And Roberta, when she lost her husband, it was devastating. She was super taken aback, not foreseen, it was not expected, and all of a sudden her best friend, her partner's gone. Well, she gets this, chunk of money. She has no idea what to do with it. She goes to her financial advisor, and her financial advisor gives her the advice of the safe withdrawal rate. She had questions. She's like, well, okay, so if I have these, $1 million or $2 million or whatever it was for her, and I just can take X amount, what if the market's down? Oh, you'll be fine, the financial advisor says. As long as you don't take more than 4% out. Okay, but what about required minimum distributions? Roberta said. When I get older, well, it doesn't matter because the safe withdrawal rate will take care of it. But what if the market's down and I have to take a withdrawal? Then don't I realize the loss? Oh yeah, but we already factored that in. Yeah, but what was the inflation rate you factored in? Oh, it's only like 2.25%, which is like the 10-year average. And she's like, well, inflation is a lot higher. We printed a lot more money. Roberta is very smart, by the way. And the advisor just kept giving excuses to her valid questions. And that That did not help her. She was not satisfied with her financial advisor's answers. It was very cookie cutter, one trick pony, one size fits all, and she was not happy. She came and found us, and here we are after her first year. And because she's deferring, she hasn't turned on income, she earned $146,000 in interest in a down year. $146,000. Oh, and by the way, she wasn't paying any advisor fees. She wasn't exposed to market risk. She's sleeping like a baby. She's starting to date again. So she's in the process of healing and getting better. And you know what? Her retirement portfolio is as well. What I did is I said, okay, Roberta, rather than doing a safe withdrawal rate, why don't we figure out and begin with the end in mind, to quote John Maxwell. So if we're gonna begin with the end in mind, we need to factor in not how much money do I need to have saved, and then there's all these variables and what ifs. Rather, what are your monthly bills today? Well, my monthly bills after I added everything up are about $5,000. Okay, great. How much fun money do you want when you retire? I think $1,000 a month. Excellent. So we've got $6,000 per month that you need. Did you factor in charitable giving and Christmas and oh yeah. Did you factor in a new car? Yeah, factor in that. Did you factor in the new, heating and air unit if it explodes, or if the roof blows away, or Fluffy gets sick and it's a $10,000 vet bill, which by the way happens a lot. Did you factor in all that? Oh yeah. I factored it out. Great. So $5,000 your bills, but $6,000 is with fun money and the gifts and stuff. What if we could give you $6,000 a month, every single month for the rest of your life? No matter how much inflation went up, your money would increase with inflation to keep up. You still have a massive death benefit for your loved ones. You still have money elsewhere that you can put towards growth or long-term care or death benefit or whatever. You've still got a safety or emergency fund. But what if your income could be completely taken care of with guarantees? You never go backwards, you never pay fees. How would that provide you peace of mind? Would it provide you peace of mind? You know what Roberta said? Oh my gosh, you don't even understand. That would be amazing for me. And guess what? Roberta implemented the plan. She is so happy. She has complete peace, and she doesn't have to worry about, oh my gosh, do I take this amount? What if the market's down? What about RMDs? It is effortless. It's smooth sailing. So the point is, you don't want to not have an annual income plan. You need to have an annual income plan, and it needs to be broken down by month, and everything has to be factored in. If your financial advisor has not done this and given it to you so you can see it, give us a call, because we want to make sure that you have that peace of mind. Did you know that the people who have these types of products on average live 20% longer in retirement? 3.6 years longer. Isn't that crazy? Because they don't have stress. Stress is the #1 killer. So do yourself a favor. If that's something that you'd like to learn more about, you're gonna wanna go to retirementrenegade.com. Retirementrenegade.com, you can schedule an appointment with one of our advisors, and heck, you may even talk to me, you never know. And we'll answer your questions. There's no obligation, there's no arm twisting, we're not making you do anything or buy anything. If there's something that we can do to help you along your journey, great. Reach out to us and schedule your complimentary 15-minute phone call where you can get your personal questions answered. Roberta's living the dream, she's dating, she's got a bright future. And if you're widowed, we want you to have a bright future as well. And financial stress is not and should not be part of your future. Give us a call today. We'll see you on the next video.